everyone, and welcome to an episode of Barn Table Talks. I'm your host, Benji Bonahay, here with my co-host, Travis Corman, and we have some very special guests here today.
Ben McCoy.
And Laura Corman.
Yep, so we're kind of going to go over what the overall goal is for this podcast, what we're kind of starting up with. This is something new that we're trying out, but we kind of want to start a conversation about ag in general, but other topics too, and kind of spread the word around the internet. So, Travis, you want to add on to anything about that?
Yeah, just educate. Try to bring a little more information to the general public if they'd like it about what we do in ag, the agricultural space, and try to, I guess, break the cliche that is out there. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's start it though. I want to go ahead and do an icebreaker question.
Okay, that's actually a better idea. We're going to start with an icebreaker question.
Let's not make this an interview. Let's have some fun.
I agree with that. Okay, let's start with
Ben's the first answer.
Yeah, Ben, you're going to be starting for us.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with, if you were to go to an island and you needed to survive and you could only bring 3 items, what are those 3 items?
Box cutter.
Okay.
Matches. And a cell phone.
Cell phone. What if you don't?
Do I get service?
You don't have service. There's no way you have service over there.
Oh boy. Probably a hat.
Okay. You get sunburned pretty easy?
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't tell. You're very fair-skinned.
Yes.
All right, Laura, what do you got?
Oh gosh, I'm on next. I don't know. I'd probably take a knife of some kind and a blanket and oh gosh, I don't know. Something I can help make fire.
Matches.
Matches. That's where Ben comes in.
Maybe something a little longer lasting than one match.
Well, if you get the fire started the first time, it just can keep going on.
True. Okay. What
All right,
about you?
Benji, you up? What do you got?
What would I bring? Let's see. All right, I'm definitely bringing. In my mind, I'm picturing this island on water, right? So
That's normal.
right?
Islands.
So I'm bringing a fishing pole, so I can get some food. Fishing pole. What's the next thing I'm bringing? I'm probably bringing some kind of like knife or sword, something sharp.
A sword.
Like a machete or something.
Anytime.
And then third thing I'm bringing is what are those things where you can make sparks with them?
Like a striker, like a flint
Yeah,
striker.
like a flint strike. Yeah, something like that. Just so
a little more reliable than
I didn't do Boy Scouts, but
Than a
I
flame.
could probably figure it out from there. Get some dry stuff, put it on the ground, and get it onto it.
Gotcha. I like it. You're up to me now.
Yeah, what are you doing, Travis?
I'm probably bringing a desalinization kit so I can drink some water.
See, I didn't even know what that was, so.
Yeah, so you're going to want to take the salt out of the
Okay.
water you're around there.
Yeah, that's probably good.
I would go with that. I'm going to bring a hammock, and I'm going to bring just something for shade.
Something for shade.
I'm going to sit back and enjoy the time and drink some water. I'm out. It's stress-free on that island.
Catch your own food with your bare hands.
You haven't seen me.
That feels scary, actually.
I like it.
No.
So, do we want to jump in?
Yeah, let's roll on in then.
Well, we know, Travis, you founded Xperience Ag in 2014, correct?
Yeah, so Xperience Ag was started in 2014, January, just based on the role of service. So wanted to provide to the customers more than a point of sale for technology products. Really wanted to be the after sale support, focus on that with the company. So
Gotcha.
that's kind of how it's started, and I guess a vision of where we wanted to take it and build off of moving forward.
Were you in ag tech before that?
So yeah, prior to that, I guess a little brief history that people may care, may not. I was in the service for a while. After I got out of the service, I went to work for an iron dealership just down south. Worked there for 3 years in technology, and didn't like the model of the role that I was in. It was a sale only, and then the service and support was an afterthought. So they had one serviceman for 9-store location, probably 500 customers, and you were drowning. You could never get ahead, and the disappointment that the customers experienced and you felt was on your shoulders just wasn't worth the continued moving forward in it. So after they kind of refused to put more people in and let me train and expand that department, I got burnt out and I left, and actually I went to go farm. A grower offered me a job, just taking care of their tech and working on that operation, and that went through a harvest, and during that time there was a lot of people reaching out to the grower to try to get in contact with me and just kind of do tech on the side. And he's a good friend, good grower, good customer still. But we took and decided that I may have been missing an opportunity, and kind of got brave and stepped out on my own in January of 14.
Did you always know you wanted to start your own business like that? Or was that kind of more?
No, I don't think that I ever really had I want to do it this way and me be in charge type scenario. No, I think it was, I was excited about being able to hopefully change an industry that it needed to be changed. Is
Gotcha.
what I was probably more excited about at the time. It was terrifying because I think I just had, what was our daughter? She was
Just a few months old.
6 months old. I think when I quit Jacoby, she was just born.
Just born, yeah.
Yeah, she was just born. So you have a newborn and you're quitting your full-time job to go. And then I left that to go out on my own. So that was kind of risky, kind of scaring at the same time.
Quick turnaround, yeah.
Yeah, quick turnaround. So 2011 and go through 13. I think 13 we changed jobs. We had a lot of changes in 13 for us and our personal family. So,
Yep.
but
So going back to the Army thing, how long were you in the Army for?
I was in the service for 5 years. 5 years.
5 years,
Yeah,
gotcha.
really enjoyed it. Learned a lot about yourself, what you think are limitations. You find out aren't limitations, and you find strengths, you find weaknesses, and you kind of, you build yourself personally. Recommend it for anybody. It's a great opportunity for everybody.
Yep.
So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So now I was on that side of it, but she was on the opposite side. Through a few deployments and stuff, and that'd be a different seat to sit in. So I can't speak from.
No, I'd still recommend it. It was good. It was a good thing for us.
Yeah.
I build communication within a relationship, which helps me, I believe, through the business aspect and still even in any other aspect. So
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service. That's
I
one of the
appreciate
biggest. I mean, I respect the military a lot. There's a lot of stuff that go into that, and being away from home for that long. That's
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of fun though.
So what's your, I guess, going back on that topic, what's your favorite, I guess, memory from being in the Army?
Oh Lord, I can't get onto that. Man, that's a
A lot of
story for
stuff.
another time.
Too much?
Man, you and I
Come
know.
on, we want to hear it. I know.
So many
You and I have had
stories.
stories. You
So
shared
many
in the pickup
stories.
trucks. We're gonna have to have some cocktails over a fire one night, and we'll be able to share those. But
Gotcha.
I think the camaraderie of the guys, just knowing that when someone truly has your back, to the point of death, that's the difference.
Yeah.
And you can't experience that anywhere but that scenario. Mm-hmm. So that's probably memories wrapped around that are probably what it is.
Yep.
Well, I'm still having that camaraderie with those
Yeah,
guys
and
today.
still, they're scattered throughout the world. From Vietnam and Hawaii to, Germany to just all over the world. You still have people that you could drop in on and pick up just like the day you left, and not feel like you missed years or decades, whatever
Gotcha.
it's been.
Wow.
So
Yep.
it's been 13 years now, since 14 years almost.
That's awesome.
So
yeah. So going back to Xperience Ag, then, what is your goal, I guess, for Xperience Ag? So has that kind of shifted since you started the company? You still, or is it grown to something different now?
So the company has it's grown well beyond whatever your initial thought is. Mine, I never dreamed it would go to what it is today and where it's even going to. You have dreams where it's going now, but originally it wasn't to what we even have today. Very thankful for all those around me. You can't do it without the people around you, and you better appreciate everybody you have. I guess kind of the goals haven't changed. The service-based direction that hopefully the company moves in and continues in hasn't changed. I don't believe. Sales of products and stuff like that, they're always a necessity. And there's there's a right place, right fit for the sale with every customer. And, everyone's different. But no, I think we like to move in more into the services industry. We've talked within staff, helping aid in government program capture to just data movement to after sale support. Whether you end up getting into writing recs and stuff like that, to doing we have another business now that you're aware of that is the Ag Apply. That's it's a spray industry. So kind of doing some services based off of that. So something along those lines is, I feel, where we continue to exist, and I think that lets us stand out.
It feels like the goal is to build more of a partnership than just a one-time transaction, right? Like it's to build a long-term relationship with a grower, with a customer, whatever it may be.
You want to see it transition hands. I mean, not that you want to force anybody out or hope anyone, but you love to see your growers retire someday and then successfully transfer to the next generation, and then you're partnered with that generation through trust you built over time. And it's not customers. What we have are friends. That friends that fortunately are trusting us to invest in us through the process and stuff like that. But there's so many great friendships and so many good memories. You're talking about the Army memories and stuff like that earlier. So many great memories that we have with these growers of laughing late at night and or whatever it is, over the tailgate of a truck, whatever it may be. There's a lot of good times had, and it quickly becomes more than just a customer businessman transaction per se.
Yep. And I think, in my view too, obviously interning last year, my first time working here, and I think the growers see this too, but the company culture within Xperience Ag is so unique compared to other places. First day coming in and everyone was just, so nice, smiling. Like, basically it was like they had known me before.
You should have saw it before she got here.
But
she brings a lot of smiles.
But it's crazy how I think us as a company, everyone's so, so nice and driven towards what we're doing that sets us apart from everyone else. And I think that was a big reason why I was like, man, I love this place. It's just.
You have a little bit of a unique story anyways. You're not from the ag realm.
Yep. So originally I went to high school, grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. Lived there my whole life up until I graduated. And then my brother ended up going to Purdue. And so while I was there in high school, I'd, go over to Purdue and visit. And I kind of fell in love with the campus there and ended up deciding to go there after high school. And then while I was in college, I'd come back on the weekends with my brother to visit his in-laws. Now in-laws, I guess at the time they weren't. But, we spent time on the farm there, helped out a little bit around the house and whatnot. And that kind of drove me to fall in love with the country and farming and that kind of process. And man, I mean, in high school, I didn't even know what a combine was. I'm gonna be honest. There was so many things, and I'm still learning. I mean, there's still a lot to learn, but it's crazy looking back on that and being like, wow, I went from city to now I'm in the country and working on stuff that I didn't even know what it was. So, but
and Laura too. I mean, she talk about somebody coming from outside of industry too. I mean,
right.
Grew up in the country, but I did not have any hands-on with anything. So,
and
my degree is in speech.
What was your prior? What have you been?
I went to college and I got my master's degree in speech pathology. And so I worked in the school systems with kids age 3 all the way through seniors in high school. And I did that for 14 years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Before coming in here and trying to help out. So
trying to fix things, straighten things out.
Yep, make sure we're all in line.
She was polite. She was polite in saying that part of it there, but
just reorganize a little.
So I guess maybe explain kind of a little bit to meet the cast here. What do you do for Xperience Ag? And
I try to keep you from not being stressed out. That's my main goal.
I appreciate that. There's a lot of shanking off and delegation of what I don't like to do, right?
Yeah. I do a lot of those odds and ends things, but I do a lot of the book work, billing and paying, all of those kinds of things, organizing some of the different things that we do outside of the office, the community events, the
marketing kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's most of my role, but largely trying to keep Travis from being stressed out.
How have you handled the transition? Do you like it? I mean,
Yeah.
because it's a big jump from
It is going from
the school.
schools to here for sure. Yeah, no, it's been great. Even though he has to put up with me now all day long, I think it's been a good change for sure.
On your behalf, and this probably keeps us sane. You know, a lot of people can't work with their spouse, and they say, you can't be around somebody that long, that many hours a day. You'll drive them crazy. I think I'm not around here, and you guys would contest to that. I mean, very, very seldom am I just sitting around here annoying everyone. Most of the time I'm out on the road. So I think that kind of, is a little bit different too. I mean, Ben, you're here, and Laura here. You guys are pretty much manning the whole show around this point. But what about you, Ben? What about your background? What do you got?
I grew up on a farm, kind of lived a farm life, went to Purdue, like Benji, boiler up.
Yeah, boiler up.
Right.
One of these days, we're going to get into Purdue's college career. Ben has great.
No, let's not.
Great stories.
Great stories.
Let's not. Let's not. No.
The day we relive my Army life, we're going to pull Ben in and we're going to relive his
I
college.
might be conveniently gone that day. But no, I grew up on a farm, grew up in ag, worked for an ag lending company in the northern part of Indiana, and then got an opportunity to come here at Xperience Ag and work in data. And that's kind of I like working with numbers and working with data and helping Laura with a lot of the stuff in the background. That's just kind of my niche, I guess, niche, however you want to say.
You've been here this 3 years, 4 years?
Going on 3 years
Going
now.
on 3?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun ride. It's been fun to see kind of everybody kind of come along and join the team and see.
It's exciting to see the growth.
Yeah.
That's happened. And just a little bit, I mean, you go back to June of last year, June of 2022, and where we're at as a company, and where we're currently at and where we feel we're projected to go. That's kind of exciting as us sitting around the table talking, inside I'm like, man, that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, you had, half the employees you currently staff, and you don't have. We weren't in a facility. We just moved into the facility in January of 23. January or December of 22.
December.
Yeah, December of 22, and
you, Steve, and Dusty were in a strip mall, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, just a little office complex, and before that, I mean, if anybody knows us, they're gonna laugh at this. We were in. First of all, we started all remote. It was just all going to the grower, which is still what we like to do. But it's nice to have a sit-down place of business to organize your thoughts and stuff and bring people in for trainings and, work on whatever we need. But yeah, I mean, before that, it was going out to the grower's place and meeting them. And, man, I did that for, from 2014 through probably 16 or 17. Hired first employee in 16 and said, oh, man. I'm going down. I don't know how to pay somebody. I don't know what's going on. But really kind of, accepted more customers. We were kind of putting them on pause there for a while. And once we decided to grow, and once that vision came clear to me, is that I wanted to provide for other families and others the experience that I was, able to capture and have and help those customers. You're going to need more manpower to help customers in a similar way, and if you can spread that vision, so that's when we opened the floodgates, and it's kind of been running since then, and it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
And I'd say, fortunately, we've had really good people that have been coming in the doors to help and work. Between
absolutely
Steve and Dusty and Matt and Benji and Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, and your dad.
Absolutely.
We couldn't ask for
Yeah.
more quality people to.
You got a lot of
put
quality
on
people that
the
care.
team and to work with.
That care just as much as I do.
Absolutely.
I mean, all you guys are, everybody. When it's time to, when we had fun, we like to have fun,
Right.
right? I mean, when it's time to work, we all buckle down. And we do what needs to be done, and there's not any favoritism. There's not any, it's a very light and fun atmosphere, I believe, and the culture. As a manager, that's one of the hardest things to manage is a culture and people. And it's easy in the Army, but it is so hard outside the Army. And keeping a positive and just a positive workplace and stuff. And the more people you add, the more dynamics that starts rolling around, and you really got to start finding a way to manage that. But yeah, that has brought us to today, and to sitting here in front of cameras and
I know, it's exciting.
microphones. Isn't that crazy?
It's grown a lot, yeah. So based on that, what's your favorite part about the job? What do you like most?
Well, so my role, my position has obviously transitioned over a short period of time. A lot more into, having to go to an office and having to make more business type decisions, not point of sale decisions, more business type decisions, and stuff. And I look forward to being able to get back out into the field a lot more. So I love being out in the field and I love troubleshooting. I mean, you were out with me yesterday. We were working on the combine, and the challenges that problems present themselves, and then the feeling and the victory that you have inside saying, I figured that out. Mm-hmm. Like, and knowing that if you didn't figure that out, that guy was, who are they going to go to? Like, what were they going to do?
To run, yeah.
I mean, what were they going to do? I mean, yeah, there's probably a workaround. They could still do their job, but they're not going to call somebody else. You're kind of the end of the line. You're at the end of the rope. And when you get to that point, it's like, well, I've got to you got to figure a way out to do this. And the moment you realize that in your career, like, I'm not going to call back here and be like, hey Ben, what do I got to do on this? Like, tell me how to work this. Mm-hmm. Because no offense to Ben, but you're going to have no clue in that situation what to do, or I'm not going to call back and ask, Laura what to do. She's going to do that right there. It's like, I don't know, go to lunch, take a break and go back afterwards. Like, that's a good idea. So, no, I think that's probably the most rewarding position. While it's, it has its stresses and it has its demands too. But I like that the most. And I look forward to being able to, I feel like I'm the most, I'm worth the most in a position like that. Mm-hmm. I bring the most value to the company in something like that. And I think I think customers, you got people that build trust in me that I've been dealing with for, oh my gosh, 10, 15 years almost, right?
Yep.
Now that, that's what they expect too. Some people just expect to. And you wouldn't think that, they're not wrong in thinking that, I guess. You can't just hand off a relationship and be like, no, this guy works here, trust him and stuff. It's just,
takes years to build.
It's relationships.
That. Oh yeah.
Relationships aren't built, on a handoff. So
I think the most exciting part for me right now is going back to these growers and them actually like remembering my name now. Now that I'm back full time, it used to be, oh yeah, this is our intern for the summer, blah blah. Oh okay, and then now
he still gets called intern.
I'm still the new guy. Still the new guy. But no, I enjoy that the most. Actually getting to talk to these people and meet them as a person, right?
Build a relationship.
Yeah. I think that's the best part about it. And obviously now I also enjoy doing a lot of the helping Laura with marketing, a little bit of that, taking videos and pictures. But I think that's my favorite part of the job is actually interacting with the grower. So yeah,
I the same way. I like building the relationships with everybody. I mean, if you're asking me that question,
when conversations they turn into BS and through parts of it, and they're asking about family, friends, all that stuff. That's when you can sit back and review that conversation and be like, that wasn't all a business transaction. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah. This morning, we passing around a funny photo that we had here, right?
We
texted it to growers.
A new sheriff.
I really want to go grab it, but I can't.
But being able to do that, like, that's the relationship that I really like about the job. Like, building that kind of relationship. You can't do that everywhere, but we have the luxury of doing that. That's pretty cool.
How about you?
I just love seeing how everything has changed and looking at what's coming next, because there's some really cool stuff. Like, I feel like in the future, being outside of ag kind of to begin with, right? Seeing how everybody's changing and growing and how you're staying with the same people and building those relationships and feeling like it's a family. Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's an interesting thing. There's a lot of people that as this has been built over the years and stuff like that, and you add people and stuff, they have a very hard time believing that a business model can be built on what we do. Mm-hmm. When you just do technology, that's all you do. Yeah, that's what we do, right? I mean, we specialize in that aspect. Now we services based off of that, but most of the time what we do, the services we provide, are an afterthought to an iron sale or in some other place, right? You go to the NRCS office, right? And, oh, there's this government program, but you'll have to figure out how to do it on your own. There's no hand-holding. There's no helping them learn what to do, and saying, hey, we got this. We're going to give you an easy button. And it goes in the form of send. Press send on your phone, and we got this for you. So I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see where we kind of go from here and extend into the future and keep going. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, where do you see what's next? What's coming down the road? Like, where,
I think that's I'd like to see the conversation for all of us. I mean, we, as a business, we're going to sit down. We always goal plan and try to get everybody on the same row in the same direction, right? And it's, I don't know. I mean, we got this little corner of paradise over here that it's going to be pretty cool to see how we build and develop and what avenues we expand into, whether it be same companies, sister companies, whatever it may be, how that helps us shape and change ag going forward. I want to be the center of autonomy. I want to know that it's coming, and I don't think it's as far off as everyone sees. In some aspect, I mean, we're probably fully autonomous spraying. You look at our drones, right?
Mm-hmm. They just go by themselves. I mean, literally.
We're doing that. We've been doing that for 2 years now. There's nothing it's not that far off. We're sitting at the edge of the field. It's doing its job, and we come back and say, go again. So how long before that continues to spread into, other aspects of what we're doing? And then how you're going to have providers, that know how to service that, or provide a service of offering that, if, grower A, B, or C doesn't want to put the financial outlay out there, or the responsibility, or the legal side of it. I mean, that's a whole nother thing there. So you're going to have all of those types of things that I think a center for autonomy, a center of trusted advisorship and partnership and services type thing. I don't think, the sales aspect of some of those things. I think you're going to see your online purchases, your people selling around the country. I mean, you can't make a living on doing that type of stuff. It just that's massive volume. That's an Amazon, a Walmart approach. That's massive volume to be able to make margins on that stuff. They're doing small margins, but lots of it, and you can't compete. We can't compete trying to do it that way.
But there's no relationship.
There's no
relationship.
There's
personalization to that.
There's no endpoint at all. That doesn't fit anything we do. So and we're in a very unique position where we have that relationship that we've talked about. Like, everybody wants to have that relationship and that trusted position with the end user, and that's really taken center stage. From an Amazon to a Google to everybody's trying to gain that, because the information that they can gather, from the end user, and they really want to cut out all the middlemen, essentially, all of us, everything like that. They're really wanting to just sell direct and get that data and be able to harvest it, so they can better their business models. But it's a very unique position that we sit in precision agriculture in general. So, but
yeah, that's a great point.
So,
well, I appreciate you guys all being on here. This was, I think it was a great conversation. I mean, I had a good time being on here, and hopefully we can keep going with this podcast and keep moving forward with it and get some more people on it.
Look forward to some more guest speakers in the future.
Yep. So stay tuned for that. But all righty. Well, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time.